Young mechanic fixed boy's broken wheelchair for free. Days later, his CEO father walks in. The metallic clang of tools echoed through the modest auto garage, a symphony of grit and grease, sweat and sparks. Jamal Carter, 24, had his head buried under the hood of a beat-up sedan, black curls tucked beneath a grease-streaked cap. The sun was barely up, yet his workday had already begun, just like every day for the past 6 years. This wasn't just a job. It was survival. Since his mom passed and his dad walked out, Jamal had raised his younger sister, Maya, working late nights and early mornings just to keep food on the table and her college dreams alive. Jamal had learned long ago that life didn't owe anyone anything. Yet, deep down, a flicker of hope burned in him, that maybe doing good could still make a difference. It was a chilly Wednesday morning when Jamal first saw him, an 8 or 9-year-old boy in a worn hoodie, awkwardly maneuvering a busted-up wheelchair along the cracked sidewalk in front of the shop. The front wheel wobbled wildly, barely hanging on, and every few feet, the boy had to stop, lean over, and wrestle it back into place. Jamal stepped outside, wiping his hands on a rag. "Hey, little man. You need help with that?" The boy froze. He looked up, wide eyes framed by thick lashes, hesitant but curious. "It's okay," Jamal said, crouching to his level. "I'm a mechanic. Broken wheels are kind of my thing." The boy bit his lip. It's okay. My dad said not to bother people." "You're not bothering me," Jamal said, smiling gently. "What's your name?" "Tyler." "All right, Tyler. You mind if I take a look?" Tyler nodded slowly. Jamal wheeled the chair into the shop, the boy walking alongside him. The thing was a mess, rusted bolts, a cracked bearing, one tire barely clinging to its rim. But Jamal saw something else too, a boy trying to be strong when life clearly hadn't made it easy. "Gonna take a little while, buddy. You cool hanging out for a bit?" Tyler nodded again, perching on a stool nearby. As Jamal got to work, he kept glancing at the kid, quiet, observant, fiddling with a keychain shaped like a rocket. "You like space?" Jamal asked. Tyler's face lit up. "I want to be an astronaut one day." Jamal grinned. "That's awesome. You know, they say astronauts gotta be real brave. You're already halfway there." It took him over 2 hours to fix the chair. He even replaced the wheels with spares from a bike someone had abandoned months ago. When he was done, the thing glided like new. Tyler's eyes widened as Jamal gave it a spin. "No way, it's like magic." "Mechanic magic," Jamal said, winking. "No charge." The boy looked confused. "But, don't you need money?" Jamal knelt beside him. "I do. But sometimes, what people need more than money, is a break. Just promise me one thing, when you're an astronaut, you help someone else out too." Tyler smiled, and it was the kind that wrapped around your heart and made you believe the world could still be good. That night, Jamal didn't think twice about it. Just another day, another repair. But 3 days later, everything changed. The shop bell jingled as a black Mercedes pulled into the lot. Out stepped a sharply dressed man in a charcoal suit, sunglasses perched on his head, holding a steaming cup of coffee. His walk was purposeful, confident. Jamal looked up from under a lifted truck. "Can I help you?" The man glanced around, then locked eyes with him. "You're Jamal Carter?" "Yeah." The man smiled. "I believe you helped my son earlier this week." "Tyler." Jamal blinked. "Oh, yeah. The wheelchair." The man extended his hand. "I'm Nathan Andrews, CEO of Orientech." Jamal shook it slowly. "Wait. Orientech? The aerospace company?" Nathan chuckled. "That's the one." Jamal's jaw tensed slightly. "Look, if this is about the chair, I didn't mean." Nathan cut him off. Jamal, I'm here to say thank you. Jamal raised an eyebrow. You didn't know who Tyler was. You didn't ask for anything. But you gave him something I couldn't, hope. My son has struggled since his accident last year. Lost his spirit. But the day he came home after meeting you, he was different. He's been smiling again. Drawing rockets. Laughing. Nathan paused, voice thickening. You reminded him that people still care. Jamal didn't know what to say. I run a billion-dollar company, Jamal. I've seen brilliant minds, extraordinary resumes. But I've never seen someone fix more than just wheels with a wrench. You fixed a little boy's heart. Nathan pulled out a business card and held it out. We've got a mechanic training program for our Mars rover prototypes. It's competitive. Paid. Full ride. You'd work alongside some of the best minds in tech, and you'd still be turning wrenches, just, on machines headed for the stars. Jamal stared at the card. Are you serious? As a rocket launch, Nathan said. You gave my son a reason to believe again. Let me give you a reason to dream bigger too. For a long moment, Jamal said nothing. Then he looked over at the old calendar pinned to the garage wall, photos of space shuttles, corners curling, faded from the sun. He'd put it up years ago. A reminder of a childhood dream that had seemed foolish in the face of life's harshness. Maybe, it wasn't so foolish after all. I'd have to talk to my sister. Make sure it works for her too. We'll make it work. Housing, relocation, everything. I just want to help the guy who helped my son. Jamal finally nodded, emotion thick in his throat. Nathan smiled. You'll start next month. As the CEO drove away, Jamal stood still, card in hand, heart pounding. For the first time in years, the future didn't feel like a weight. It felt like wings. Weeks passed, and Jamal packed up the shop that had been his second home. The locals came by to say goodbye. People whose cars he'd fixed on credit, whose kids he'd tutored after work, whose lives he'd touched just by showing up every single day. Tyler came too, wheeling up in his now perfectly smooth chair, a model rocket in his lap. He handed it to Jamal. Made it for you, he said shyly. It's got your name on it. So when I go to space one day, I'll take a picture of it floating. Jamal blinked fast, the tears uninvited but welcome. He hugged the boy tight. Deal. As he stepped onto the plane a week later, headed to a new city, a new life, Jamal thought about the strange, beautiful chain of events. One moment of kindness had rippled out like waves on water, touching lives, healing hearts, and changing his own in ways he never could have imagined. He wasn't just going to fix machines anymore. He was going to build the future. Because sometimes, fixing a broken wheel leads to a whole new world of motion. And one act of kindness, it can take you all the way to the stars.